What's up, guys? So this week I'm coming at you with just an update of how things went for week 2 of my mesocycle. So I started it out with sets of 6 on squat, and so I did 3 for 15. So I increased weight and intensity from last week. And honestly, this felt pretty good. I'm really liking the switch from the squat shoes to flats. I feel for my leverages, it just makes sense. I feel like I can get more of my uh, I feel everything working more how it should be. So again, kind of like I said in the last video, like squat shoes aren't for everybody, so don't be dogmatic in your approach and be open to trying both, see which one you like best and what you can progress on. Biomechanics are individual, so you just need to learn your body and what you respond best to. After that, I did some back off sets with 270 pounds for 8 reps and RPE of 7 as well. I do back off sets just because it's easier to manage fatigue and I can still get in a hypertrophic stimulus that I want and see the positive strength gain adaptations next week and be able to progress how I want to. But this set felt pretty good. Again, and then after that, I did some sumo deadlifts with 435 pounds for 8 reps at RPE of 7. I really still want to work on my positioning, being a little bit more upright prior to starting my pulls, retracting my scapula a little bit more. Um, but overall, like this set didn't look too bad. I'm just trying to be as nitpicky as possible because if I can get my hips closer to the barbell and retract my scapula more, this is going to mean I can lift more weight over time, which is what I want, and have a reduced risk of injury. And then after that, I just filmed just like just like one accessory thing that I did. I did some bicep curls. I still will do some additional upper body work on my lower body days. Training isn't just confined to doing leg days, and you can only train legs on leg day. Like certain muscle groups, like your delts and your biceps, calves, abs, can be trained more frequently, and probably should be trained more frequently, due to their volume needs for growth, and then also their recovery capacities. And then after that, I also did some lateral raises. So basically, do some biceps and delts after, and just a little bit of leg accessories. I can't really show you guys all the specifics of my program just because it's not my program. Um, I know out of respect to my coach Jaeger, I can't really just advertise everything that I do in the training week, exactly what sets, what reps, etc. Just because it's not my program, it's not my duty to give out. But I'll share what I can. And then after that, I did after my leg day, I had a horizontal pulling emphasis day with T-bar rows. Added a set, added intensity via uh, weight on the barbell. So basically, I really like these a lot more than like barbell rows or dumbbell rows. I just like machines more in general for back. I feel like there's a better force curve. I get a better squeeze. I feel like I can overload really easily on these, and microloading is just more efficient. But mainly just doing these for variation. Since I did barbell rows last mesocycle, so I'm doing these T-bar rows and liking them a lot. And I did some lat pull downs, basic typical back work. Staying within my volume landmarks and progressing as I can via intensity and sets as the mesocycle goes on and training gets harder as it should get harder. That's the whole principle of progressive overload. And then after my back work, I did some biceps, doing these incline dumbbell curls for variation purposes, also just because I like them. Um, and like my biggest advice to anybody when choosing exercises for mesocycles is choose mesocycles. Exercises that are basically going to be new and that you like and that you can progress on and stay consistent with. Um, and just having different exercises is going to help reduce injury potential risk. Then I did, this is my other push day. I did 230 pounds, 4 sets of 6 at RPE of 8 on incline. I showed these to Jaeger, and who's my coach, and he said that he wants me to focus on locking out my reps more completely um, on each rep, which I agree with. Full range of motion, it means you lock out your reps, so I need to make sure I'm doing that. I didn't film too much on this day just because I don't really have, I really just do like inclines, my main compound movement. I decided to just film this set of flies just to show like how they should be done. Generally what I think of is I want to kind of scoop under and then just really feel that contraction in the chest and kind of pause for a little bit at the top. I really, really like these. I feel like the force curve is really awesome. Like feel, like constant tension is like debatable on how important it is, but I mean, I at least really, really like these and get a sick pump, so it satisfies my inner bro. But yeah, and then moving on the day after that. So this is me with a deadlift bar. I'm getting used to this. This is really, it feels weird to me. I'm used to a stiff bar. This is 500 pounds, so it's super, super easy. And this is 565 pounds. I don't know what the heck happened on this. It just went like, I was anticipating this to be an RPE of the 7 to 8, like pretty submaximal. But because I'm used to pulling on a stiff bar, I'm used to kind of just gripping and ripping and just yanking it off the floor and using pure muscle. With a deadlift bar, I have to kind of change my hip positioning, change how I pull, be more patient off the ground, be more deliberate with my positioning than I was with the stiff bar. But when I get more used to that and learn the technique, I mean, I'm going to be hitting numbers I couldn't otherwise have hit with a straight bar. So yeah, basically just kind of having to relearn the deadlift right now, but I mean, I'll keep you guys updated on progress as that goes on. And then I did the worst exercise of all time. I did deficits with 395 pounds, an RPE of 8. Again, just these felt weird on the deadlift bar. I like to have my scapula a little bit more retracted. These kill my quads. Like I just feel like there's such a burn in them, but I mean, whatever it takes to get stronger and see growth, I will do it. And so this is like an RPE of 8. So I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, I overloaded. This was a hard session. I was feeling kind of sick, got a little bit of a cold, head cold going on. So it felt harder than it probably should have, but I still came in and overloaded, so that's what matters. After my deadlift work, I did some squats, 270 pounds for sets of 8 at RPE 7. I really like how these looked and how they felt. It was mentally challenging just because I just didn't feel super great. I couldn't really breathe right because I was kind of congested. But I mean, really happy with the depth. The only thing I would like to do is control the stretch reflex a little bit more coming out of the hole, be a little bit more deliberate with my hip positioning because I kind of wasted some motion. Then after that, I did, this is actually today, but I came into the gym and I thought I was really confident like getting 295 for 5. But you can kind of see here, like on a few of the reps, I just misscrewed. Form felt really off. I didn't have a really good lift off. Here's all the excuses I have. But basically, moral of the story is I only got 4.5 reps. Just you can kind of see here, like I'm not re-engaging in leg drive at the proper time. This is when I misscrewed. Had to reposition myself on the pad. Just things weren't feeling good. And by rep 4, I knew this was going to be kind of like a 50-50, get it halfway up off my chest, hit that sticking point, and then just can't get it all the way out. But it's still PR. I've never gotten, even 4.5 reps. So it's progress, but it definitely overshot my RPE. But then for back off sets, I did 275 pounds for sets of 7 to 8 reps. My bench RPE is really weird. I kind of go from like a 7 to 8 to like a 10 within like the matter of like 1 rep. It's kind of frustrating, but it's just, I mean, my triceps and front delts are significantly weaker than my chest is. So I'm basically just running with it, taking it as it is, and progressively overloading. That's why my coach programmed an overhead press, and hopefully, I've never really done overhead press ever consistently. So I'm excited to see how this helps my bench. Then I did some skull crushers. This was how I normally do them. I sent these to Jaeger, and he told me to try to lower it to my neck, just to get a little bit more of a farther range of motion. And I'll show this in the next clip. But overloading again added a rep. This felt way harder, but I felt it more in my lateral and medial head of my tricep. So I'm going to keep trying this way and overload it as I can. But yeah, that's basically this week of training, and everything felt good. Still progressively overloading across the board. And yeah, that's basically it for this update. Thanks you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. See ya.